Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
So the Discovery Day process at United Franchise Group, tell me about that. That's an important step to you.
It's an incredibly important step for us because some franchisors do it, as we both know, but some don't. And for us, it's that time where we could spend with that person out of a carnival-like atmosphere like this today at a show, where we could one-on-one show them our training, our ongoing support, our resources that we have, meet the executive team, talk to some franchisees locally, really start to wrap their head around what the opportunity is all about. And for us too, to really get to know them better. So it's enormously important for us. It's been by far a very successful program in place for us at UFG.
How many Discovery Days do you do on a monthly basis or weekly basis? A lot of them.
We do a lot of them.
Yeah.
We're dancing in that office for sure. We got a lot of activity. But I would say for all of our brands, on any given day, we have at minimum, 1 to 2 Discovery Day tours.
Yes. And is it only 1 or 2 people at a time, or will you do 10 or 20 people at a time?
No, we certainly have done large groups. It's rare that we have the 10 or 20, but certainly if somebody's coming in and they're looking to have a couple partners in the business, they'll bring those partners as well.
Okay. And then in a SuperGreen, is it a one-person operation, or do you want 2-3 people? How big employee-wise is this?
SuperGreen Solutions, if you're going with the home-based model, certainly you could start with yourself, and you'd quickly evolve into somebody else that could cover sales. If it's the lobby showroom model, then you're going to have at least 3 people.
Okay. And what about the financial commitment? What's it cost to acquire the rights to one of the units of a SuperGreen?
Great question. So our franchise fee across the board for domestic opportunities is the same. It's $49,500. And then if somebody is going with the virtual office space model that I mentioned, there's an equipment package of roughly $14,200. So for the lobby model, it's a little different. Same franchise fee again. And then they've got an equipment package, supplies package of about $50,000.
Okay.
And that's all the software, all the samples, all the fixtures and furnishings that you'd need in that lobby model.
So it's like a $60,000 to $100,000
That's exactly what it is.
Investment.
That's exactly
and then
what it is.
I don't know your FDD offhand, so I don't know if you have an earnings claim in there or not. But can you talk about how long until I would make some money, have some money I can take home?
Sure. Well, we don't have an item 19, so we don't do the earnings claim. But we were blown away with our first model in West Palm Beach, Florida, where we started the concept. In our first, really 9 months of operation, we had done exceptionally well. We had, far exceeded our expectations. We were definitely on track to be $1 million store with our own corporate model. And that's when we knew, Ray and I sat down, others on the team, and said, we've got a franchisable concept here.
Yeah, that's great. So the franchisees are trained initially in West Palm Beach, 2 weeks?
The initial training is a 2-week training program.
And then what happens? How do they get support, and how do they get additional training as needed?
Sure. So beyond that 2 weeks, what happens is then we're out in the marketplace. So it's either a 1 week or 2 week, depending on the lobby model or non-retail model. And then there's ongoing support beyond that. So what we do is we have a 30, 60, 90-day review after we launch a franchise, and we continually follow up after that, of course. But we want to make sure the franchisee hasn't lost sight of those activities that they need to do and the things that they really need to focus on to be successful in the business.
Okay. So you're checking in on them 30, 60, 90 days, sort of a checkup. Are you doing this, and are you doing this, and are you doing this? And the areas where they're not doing what they need to do or they're not doing well, then you have an opportunity to help them improve in those areas, to improve their business overall.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then do you have an annual meeting, or is it every 18 months, or how does that work with SuperGreen?
We do. So each and every year we'll have a couple regional meetings that we put together, and oftentimes we'll dovetail an industry show where we can get everybody together and they can share an experience like a trade show. And then to our main event that we do, our large expo, we're doing something a little bit different this year. You may have heard from some of my colleagues earlier, but this year we're doing more of a high-end summit, training summit, for some of our more mature franchisees who want to get together and talk at a higher level about growth and development. And then we'll pick up our normal expo that we do where everybody can attend, and that's about every 24 months now.
Okay. So as we wrap up here, what's the one thing that you would say to people who are listening that you think they need to do before they invest in any franchise? What's something that people aren't doing well enough, or they're not doing at all? They're not doing enough of it before they invest in a franchise. What's the Tipton's major tip?
I like that. What I would say is you want to have a passion for whatever it is you do, because franchising is not punching in and punching out. You're not on somebody's payroll. This is your own business. You really need to be wired as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And more important, you have to be able to say, this is something that I could really see myself enjoying and having a passion for. Because if the passion is there and you've got the fundamentals that we're looking for as a franchisor, you could certainly be successful in SuperGreen Solutions as a franchisee of ours, and we're really proud of what we've developed.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you, Tipton, for taking this time.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.